Imagine a king who spent most of his reign not in his own country, but on crusade in distant lands, fighting legendary battles and becoming famous across Europe and the Middle East. This was the life of Richard the Lionheart, often called the Lionheart for his courage and reputation as a warrior king. But the question historians often ask is, was Richard truly the perfect knight and hero of legend, or was he a king more interested in war than ruling his own kingdom? Richard became King of England in 1189, but he spent very little time there. Instead, he joined the Third Crusade, a massive campaign to capture Jerusalem from Muslim control, where he fought against the famous Muslim leader Saladin. Richard proved himself to be an incredibly skilled military commander, winning several battles and gaining respect even from his enemies. Stories describe him as brave, skilled in combat, and a natural leader on the battlefield. However, despite his military fame, Richard's reign was very expensive. To fund his wars, heavy taxes were placed on England, and some historians argue that he cared more about crusades and battles than governing his own people. On his way back from the crusade, he was captured and held for ransom, and a huge amount of money had to be paid for his release. So was Richard the Lionheart a heroic warrior king, or a ruler who neglected his kingdom for war and glory? The answer is probably both. He was one of the greatest military leaders of his time and became a legend of medieval chivalry, but he was also a king who spent very little time ruling England. His story shows how history often remembers warriors as heroes, even when their legacy is more complicated than legend suggests.